Hey, Phil.
Hey, Kenny.
Phil, I'm looking to grow my retail distribution in Western Canada. There's many to choose from. Can you give me one that sort of has broader expertise? I need some retail, but I really also need some solid food service. Like anybody come to mind quickly?
I think always pick someone that matches with what you want to do. But if they match with you, LGDF Wholesale is a great partner to go with. They've been doing food and beverage for 30 years. They understand the category. They've got specialty food pretty well distributed. They also understand small and large grocers. They've got category expertise. They've got logistics. They can ship from indies to major chains. That's where I would go.
Very cool. So La Grotta del Formaggio Wholesale, or as we love to call them, LGDF Wholesale. So if you're ready to grow and you want to do some work in Western Canada and you're looking for great distribution within retail of any size and food service, visit lgdfwholesale.com. One more time, that's lgdfwholesale.com.
Hey, welcome to This Commerce Life, an unscripted podcast that focuses on the stories behind small and independent Canadian retail and Canadian CPG.
What we try and do is deliver or pull out the story of our guests and give them to you. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly of retail and CPG in Canada. We're filling a need because we think that retail is hard on the best of days, but it's also a wonderful, wonderful place to grow up and make your living.
We also think that the industry, nor the people that inadvertently find themselves in the industry, really understand the industry at all. They don't really understand what goes on behind the scenes.
So listen to us, Phil and Kenny. We'll unravel it for you. We'll give you the story. We'll give you the story behind the story.
Okay, hi guys.
Hello.
Oh
How
yeah,
are you?
I'm good. I don't know. Okay, can you see me and you can hear me,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yep.
Now, my background is particularly unattractive, but this is what we've got. Is that okay?
It is more than okay.
Fine
Retail
by
is
us.
retail. You are where you are, and
I am where I
you
am.
do what you do,
Put my
and
hoodie on.
like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
This
is
is my
the way this
podcast couch.
works.
I've been sitting on this couch since COVID.
Can't see it because it's blurred out.
Oh,
You've got the blurred
I don't know how
screen.
I do that. I don't even know how to undo that.
It's got a nice background though. Load receipt papers.
Bill's a
Now,
big shot.
JJ's talking. She's trying to reload the Clover machine. Oh, it looks like she's going upstairs. Is that okay, JJ? Okay, so there'll be a little bit. Oh no, you just hung up on him. Oh, I don't get focused. Okay, she's telling me to focus. Okay, I'm ready.
It matters. Do your
We
thing.
love
It's
you.
all good.
No, it's all good. It's all good. This is what it's like running a store. We get it. We get it. We get it.
It was nice to meet you the other night, Phil.
I know. It was nice to meet you too.
Right?
It's
Then we won
it's
the award.
very
That was so
cool.
exciting.
That's pretty cool. And you guys have
And
a Clover
you won
machine?
the
Are you talking like
award.
a Clover, like coffee machine?
No, we're talking about our credit card terminal.
Oh, thinking,
It's
wow, because that's pretty cool too. Because the Clover machines are not hard. They were hard to get.
oh, like I don't know even know what you're talking about. This is the terminal for our credit card stopped
Oh,
working
okay.
yesterday. So
Okay.
Oh,
Oh
great. Good
no.
time of
yeah,
year.
no good. Yeah. Oh gosh, there's our kids. Just a second.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's somebody else. Hold it. JJ,
I
your
got a
cell
glass of
phone's
water.
ringing. Raise the roof. Hello, are you calling from Clover? Oh yeah, here's JJ. One second. JJ, Clover. Oh, is this Clover, right? Oh, hello.
The trials and tribulations of retail.
I believe it's crazy. Well, it is actually. I lied. Okay.
All good. It's all good. We've actually been recording, so it's good.
Everybody
We
says they're going to get this chaos of your world.
No, no, I think so. We do this because, like I said to you the other night, I think both of us come from retail. We think it's incredibly important for people to understand, right? Because I think the world looks at retailers right now and they look at the big guys and kind of go, well, you make lots of money. But, like everybody else in the world, if you're
Yeah.
not one of the four that own 80% of the grocery market, not so much, right? And it's kind
Yeah.
of crazy and all of those sort of things. So, for listeners, we've got Angela Donnelly, right? Is that your last name? Angela Donnelly. And she is one of the founders of the Raise the Root Organic Market. And I got the chance to meet her the other night at the Ontario Made Awards. You won an award there. So very, very exciting. But we're just excited because we do talk to a lot of brands. We talk to retailers. We recently got the chance to hang out with a couple in the interior of BC, which was kind of fun. But we are always excited to get local markets on because I think we think you guys do amazing things for the neighborhoods that you're in, and we
Yeah.
appreciate you taking some time to talk to us. So
No problem.
yeah, 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 yeah. I think so the way we like to do this, we're pretty unscripted, but we'd love to hear about you, how you got to doing what you do. You know how I feel already about retail. Kenny, you'll get to that pretty quick, but we'd just love to hear about like, do you mind doing an intro of yourself and then raise the root and what you guys kind of do, and then we'll probably ask you a chunk of customer. We're curious about what made you do retail for real.
Well, I
Yeah,
did
yeah. To
cheat.
be,
I did
yeah,
cheat and go onto the web page,
yeah,
which
yeah,
I
yeah.
never do because I was curious to see what you did. So I know
Yeah,
there's a hippie background here because I'm on the West
yeah,
Coast.
there's,
I'm in
oh,
Vancouver
you
or
are
in
nice,
East Van.
yeah. Oh, East
So
Van,
I
nice.
kind of, and I read, I thought, oh yeah, this one's gonna have a cool story
Yeah,
because
I used to live in East Van. Well, I grew up on Salt Spring Island, and my parents were like back to the landers. They really wanted to try to live off the land for a time. But it wasn't wildly successful. And when I was in my early teens, they bought this truck that used to set up in the park in downtown Ganges on Salt Spring Island. And some other guys had been doing this for a few years, where they would take the truck onto the mainland, over to Vancouver, and up to the Okanagan and to different places, and they'd pick up fruit and veg and other products, and they'd bring them back to the island on the ferry, and they'd set up the stall every weekend and sell fruits and vegetables. So my parents bought that truck. I don't know how much they paid for it. And when they were at the bank getting some money, and the bank said, "What's your business name?" And they're like, "We don't know." And then my dad was like, "Mobile Market," because it was mobile. So my parents had the store called the Mobile Market. It started in the park, and then it moved to this shack up by the water that was kind of half indoor, half outdoor. And then it moved to kind of a fancy location by the bank, McPhillips Avenue. And so they did that for a long time, and I worked at the store a lot. And then I went off to Vancouver. I went to uni, and then my dad got sick with cancer, and he really wanted somebody to drive the truck to Vancouver twice a week and buy all the food. So we used to stop at like Avalon Dairy and Horizon Foods, and go down to the produce terminal in Venables there. And so I was like, "You're out of your mind. I cannot drive this truck. It's like a 5-ton truck." I was even a late adopter on my driver's license to begin with. And I was like 22, I think, at the time. And but they kind of needed me to do that, and that's what was happening. So I moved back to Salt Spring, and I did that for a couple of years, and it was very interesting because I'd get up really early in the morning. I would park the truck at my house. My dad had to teach me how to drive that truck, which was challenging. And then I would get on the early morning ferry, drive the truck into downtown Vancouver. I'd usually go to the produce terminal first, the one on Venables,
yeah,
right near you if
yeah,
you're in East Van.
yeah,
And I'd go to Van Whole Produce, and
yeah.
I'd go to Pacific, and I would get one of those hand jacks, put a pallet on the hand jack, and they would let me wheel it around into all their ginormous coolers and buy what I wanted. I'd have a list. So on the ferry in the morning, I'd sleep for the first like 40 minutes of the ferry ride, and then I'd go upstairs to the cafeteria, and then I would have my list. I had done the inventory, and I had done my buying list, and so then I would just go around with my clipboard and I would buy everything I wanted. So I would climb to the top of these stacks of Valencia oranges, up to the rafters to find the best case, blah blah blah. And so it was interesting. It was very I already felt like I was pretty immersed in produce retail at that point from working at my parents' store, but that just took it to a whole new level. And so I did that for a few years, and then unfortunately my parents had to sell that business because my dad did die of cancer, and that was pretty hard for our whole family. But I left Salt Spring after that, and they sold the business, and that was kind of the end of that. But when I went back to Vancouver, I got a job at Capers. I don't know if are you from Vancouver, Kenny?
I was born in the Kootenays, but Capers was taken by I think Whole Foods bought them, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Capers West Van, it was the original Capers, and it was for those who don't know, it was I mean there was Kitsilano Natural Foods, which was Kids Natural Foods was called something else like in the 70s. It's on Broadway. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So Capers West Van was the original Capers. Then there were a few after that before they got bought. And so I got a job at Capers, working the produce department there. And then I got and then I moved to Pro Organics. Pro Organics was an organic produce wholesale distributor in Vancouver. And they I had been buying from them when I worked for my parents. And so then I sold produce wholesale on the phone. I had an office job for the first time, and I sold all the way over to Manitoba and up through the interior of British Columbia. Like we used to send trucks all over BC with that organic produce. And so I worked there for 3 years. And then I moved to Toronto for many, many different reasons that are boring. And that's when I started my first business, and it was called Front Door Organics. And Pro Organics, the owners of Pro Organics backed me in that business.
Oh, cool.
And that was organic home delivery. And organic home delivery was already really big in Vancouver at that time.
Right.
So that was the late 90s of the last century. And so this is a really long intro, probably too much detail.
But,
no, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Keep it coming. We love it.
Then, I moved to Toronto. I opened up Front Door Organics. I had a couple of investors. And I was actually, our first location was in the back of the Ontario Natural Food Co-op in Etobicoke. They lent us, they had a little office at the back of their warehouse, and they let us use some of their warehouse space. And so we filled up these Rubbermaids and we delivered them all over Toronto. And that's how I met JJ, my partner, my life partner and my business partner. And because I hired her to work for me back in 1999 or 2000, something like that. And so we had that business for 19 years. So that was a long time.
Wow, that's a hell of a run.
Yeah, I started it when I was 26. And we got to have like 3 vans. That's as big as we got, but it was really hard. I mean, first of all, organic produce wasn't as well known in this marketplace.
Torontonians we're getting there, but
you're still behind what we are out west. That's okay.
We're not the West Coast.
Well, can I 1 second? Not for anything, because I do find it, because from Salt Spring to East Van, not that it's a quantum leap, but TO is a bit of a quantum leap.
I know.
So you got to give me a little bit just on that one, because why would you leave the hood or the island?
I had a lot of friends. I mean, not to brag, I have so many friends.
I'm just loaded with friends all over the world.
You know what? I met a lot of friends who are still my friends today. And for some reason, many of them became academics, and there was sort of an exodus from Vancouver. So I met them, a lot of them at Simon Fraser. That's where I went to uni. And they all just moved to Ontario to do their PhDs. And I was lonely. I was living in Vancouver, and I was just kind of lonely. And I was like, I don't know, this seems like a good idea. Like, in retrospect, I kind of regret it. I mean, I know it's not great to have life regrets, but I miss BC a lot. And
Yeah.
like geographically, I just don't feel Toronto is that beautiful a place. And I feel like in some ways I was made to live in a beautiful place. And now I live in Toronto and it's not a beautiful place. And I no disrespect to Toronto. Toronto's
Relative
an
to
amazing
Vancouver
city.
or the coast. I mean, I agree
Okay.
with you. Toronto's nice. It is,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's not here.
There are no
yeah.
I get
mountains.
it. Like when
Like
you
there's no
land and you see the
mountains. There's
mountains,
It's
no
the
it's
yeah.
evergreens
different.
I miss the most. I really
Yeah.
feel it's the evergreens. Like I feel like
Yeah,
it's so dreary here in the
I
winter
get it.
once the leaves fall. It's
Yeah,
really kind of
yeah.
sucks the
Today,
lifeblood out of me.
today is the start of those days.
Today,
Like today is
exactly.
it's
And
like
then
-10,
yeah,
-11. The
yes,
landscape went like bleak white, brown.
yeah,
Well,
Like
we're
the it's
west.
no no
yeah.
no
It's
You're
no
not
no
west.
that
no no
nice.
no
It
no.
is
Like
very.
you
It
know,
can be very
Vancouver, as you
BC
complain
too.
about it. Here it's white, it's dusty, it's brown, and it's
Yeah,
gray, and it's the start of the gray brown season. Like
yeah.
it'll
The
be
gray
like
brown
this
season.
until March,
Yeah, maybe
maybe
May.
April. Yeah,
Maybe
you
May.
know, yeah, yeah. It's
See,
not.
I like it out here. I don't know how you guys do it over there. Like, I mean, I would grow up in Trail. I was born and raised in Trail,
Oh yeah,
and then went
yeah,
to Vancouver, right? So I've
yeah,
always had green mountains. The
yeah,
ocean thing was kind of cool when we moved down. I had the
yeah,
Columbia River. We didn't have the mountains, but it's okay.
yeah,
But like, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I love Toronto. I really do. I think it's a great
yeah,
city, but it's a
yeah.
great city to visit.
Hmm.
Definitely a nice city to leave to come back
Yeah.
home.
I come
We
back to
were
Vancouver a
driving
lot.
out of Kelowna, and I
Yeah.
was taking pictures. Or what's the pass
Oh,
called, Kenny?
we were on the
The
Coquihalla, and he's
Loblaws
taking.
We were
Pass.
on
There's
the
nothing.
Coquihalla. We were on the
There's
Coquihalla. I'm
nothing
taking pictures.
there.
And he's like, "What are you looking at?" I'm like,
The most
"Do you see this
boring road
gully?
on in
We
the
don't have
country.
this. Like we don't have this, right?
And I'm
Like the
thinking,
most I
Pat,
get is the
what?
Canadian Shield, which is like
Yeah.
a
So where'd you grow up,
hundred
Phil?
feet, like 50 meters up.
East
Like
Paul,
Yeah.
Mississauga.
there's no
Oh,
3,000 feet down, Like there's no looking down. There's just not a
I
thing,
know.
right?
Even up on
Like
the
Um,
coast,
yeah,
though, there's nothing up there. It's the most boring road in the province,
but
maybe
the
the country.
mountains, but I've
right?
been on the
Yeah,
highway. It's
yeah,
different than
Yeah.
here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
so then we sold our business. We sold Front Organics.
Hmm.
No, first, JJ and I had 2 kids.
Oh, cool.
That was a
Amazing.
challenge.
That's worse than retail.
Kids are very hard. They're so hard. So we had 2 kids. And so then we had
Rewarding
our
but
little,
hard. You have to qualify. It's rewarding, but yeah,
of course, yeah,
Mostly
yeah.
interesting.
rewarding.
Yeah,
Mostly rewarding. Yes.
They're
they're
a
a shit ton
handful.
of work.
So, and then when you have your small business, all of your employees are your children as
You
well.
got all those kids.
So we had a lot of kids. We had a
Yeah.
lot of kids. And at FDO, we did pretty well for a while, but then the field got really crowded, a lot of competitors, and it was really hard for us to keep up. So then in 2014, we decided to open this shop right near where we lived, just for the fun of it. But we had a 1-year-old at the time. And so then in 2016, we wanted to sell Front Organics. We're like, we need to get out of here. And luckily, one of our competitors, Fresh City Farms, they happened to want to acquire it at the time, and they did. They did buy it, and that was that. We left that business, and happily so. We had this one already, so there was no gap. There was actually an overlap of 2 years.
Right.
So then we had this. Things were different. JJ was more involved in running the shop, and I was more involved in being at home with the kids and working some other paid work. Time marches on. Here we are, 11 years later. We just had our 11th birthday.
Wow.
It's touch and go.
It's retail.
Yeah.
Again, people don't. This is why we like doing this, right? And I like for non-retail people, because we do get listeners that are not specifically in our world. And I think that it's to give an appreciation that, like, even the big guys, no matter, I mean, because we knock the big guys all the time.
Yeah.
But really at the end of the day, when you're netting 1-2%, quite frankly, you're better off to put the money in the bank.
Yeah, I know.
Why would you go
Yeah.
through the hassles of all those stores, all those employees, all that
I know.
bullshit I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, the
I
bank
know.
pays you more.
Yeah.
Well, now it
Well,
doesn't necessarily, but you know what I
fresh
mean?
food
Like,
is
it's a tough
very,
line.
yeah, no, it's very, JJ and I are joking around constantly about, if we could sell coffee, like what's the margin on coffee? Or have a cafe, or lately we've been like, we should open a barber
Don't
shop.
do that either, though.
We're not barbers, but we're like, we're just like, what could we do that doesn't involve,
Yeah.
like, fresh produce is so much work, and dairy and organic. We're talking
Yeah.
organic. It has no shelf life. Like we
You got
get
no
we get
time.
we get 14 days on our dairy. That's
Time
what
is your
we
enemy.
get.
Yeah, time is your enemy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
unless you're Loblaws, you are not getting, what they can do with dairy, what they can sell it on the shelf is still below the cost
yeah.
of acquisition for small retail. Don't people really
Yeah,
understand
I know.
that?
Oh no,
They don't get it.
we see the products that we buy cheaper at Walmart all the time than we pay for them.
I get it. That's
Sometimes we're like, we should just head up to the Walmart at Gerrard Square and buy our inventory. Like, I mean, we
that's
wouldn't,
why
but
people go to Costco though, right? People
of
will
course.
buy
Yeah.
dairy and eggs
Yeah.
at Costco and
Yeah.
juice. Why?
Yeah,
You
and
put it
also
into the retail
Costco has tons
store.
of organic food.
It's better
Yeah.
margin.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in 2022, like after the pandemic, we almost just had to bail. We
Yeah.
almost had to pack it in. We were our sales had plummeted so badly. We still don't even really know why. And I know we weren't alone in that. I know a lot of businesses after the pandemic just crashed. I still don't really understand why that was, but we were like, we have to, I don't
Yeah.
think we're going to survive this. Like, we just really, it was a bad time. And have we come back from that? Things have improved, but it is still pretty touch and go around here. Like,
Yeah.
we are constantly having conversations like, this is maybe TMI, but we're like, well, what else could we do? But the thing is that I've been selling fruits and vegetables my whole life.
It's
Like,
part of you, right?
it's kind of, I feel it's almost all I know how to do. And I love to do it. I do,
Yeah.
but it's not exactly lucrative.
I think it's again, I don't think it's the appreciation of retail's not easy. It really isn't.
Yeah.
But anything around retail is challenging. The money's not great. The margins
Yeah.
aren't great. I don't, it's funny, we were talking about this yesterday because I work for two food distributors as well,
Oh yeah.
plus the contract work we do. I've never left retail. It's always retail. And we
Yeah.
were talking about it and saying, since the pandemic, like the food service industry has never caught a break.
Yeah. No,
Just
it's
have
been
not
so
caught a
hard.
break
Not
since
at
the
all.
pandemic. Like
Absolutely.
I mean, every week it's like another shit story that they
Yeah.
just cannot catch a break.
Yeah.
And then if you look at retail since the pandemic, it has struggled too between supply chain inflation. And it's
Yeah.
not a Canadian thing, it's a world thing. I
Yeah.
think that pandemic just, I don't know what it did to this planet, but it sure made things interesting. And I still don't feel like we're off the pandemic, but the repercussions of that time don't seem to want to
Well,
let go.
it broke a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't think we
I think
fixed that. I don't
social
think we know. I don't know
convention.
if maybe
Yeah.
we don't know what broke. We don't know how to fix it. I
Yeah.
don't know what the
Sometimes
hell's
I
going on.
wonder because, like, I mean, there are some success stories in retail. Like, if you
There's
look at
lots.
the choices market in Vancouver, for
Yeah.
example, I used to know the owner. I used to be his sales rep when he had just the one store. I forget his name. But
Lockhart's.
oh yeah, okay.
Lockhart's,
So
right?
he got really big, and I don't even know who owns that business now, but I know
Pattison.
there's more than one.
Pattison.
Oh, who?
Jim Pattison Group bought him.
Jim
Save on.
Pattison Group.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
just so you know, so if you take the story, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
criticize, but you take this, you know what I mean? Like that's gone. Nature's Fair is owned by Pattison Group now. Quality Foods is Pattison Group now. All the
Fairs
buy
in
low
Victoria.
distillers, Pattison.
Nature's Fair in
Quality Foods on the
Victoria.
island is
Yeah.
part of the
Yeah.
Pattison Group.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. And what
Sobeys
about
bought
Thrifties?
Thrifties.
Is
Sobeys.
Thrifties?
Sobeys bought them.
Thrifties is Sobeys.
But you see what I mean? At the end of the day, so no matter what, even those ones that were success stories
They sold out, I
clearly
guess.
ended up having issues that in essence they chose to be sold. And you know why most of them, it's the same reason you're sitting there. They're thinking like, shit, there's got to be something easier to do than this. Like
Yeah.
it's a grind. And
Great.
it's sad because
Yeah.
it's important. It's critical to our country.
Yeah.
Like we
Well,
need
it's interesting
this.
because you think on the one hand
One second.
you should never go have trouble because people have to
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah.
Eating is a necessity. Like, we're not selling, and also we're not selling like cameras that no one buys anymore. Food is never going to go out of fashion. It's never going to be technologically obsolete. I mean, in our lifetimes. And so sometimes I wonder, if food's so important. But then I just think people buy big.
Right.
I think people buy big. I think they just decide that I do think that there's a bias against little stores. Like, even though I bet that probably people would get a cheaper shop out of us than Loblaws,
They
maybe
will.
maybe
will.
not no frills, like maybe not no frills, but
No, but
No,
the
they
just
still
buyers
kind
will.
of pound for pound, quality for
No, seriously,
quality,
they
right?
still will get a better
They
deal from you
will.
than they will
Like
from the big
they'll
guys.
yeah,
probably get a better shop out of you than they would even like a Longo's
yeah,
or
because
somebody
also
of
people
that
felt time is
caliber, right?
money. Like
So
we still
yeah,
answer the phone.
yeah,
Right.
People
yeah,
phone
You
us
know what they
and
do
they say,
get?
"Do you have this in
yeah,
stock?" Like someone
Yeah.
just called
And
me
someone will
about
go
right
on
before
hold and
basil.
run and check.
Yeah,
yeah.
and I mean, like,
Yeah.
would I ever call no frills? I wouldn't dream of calling
Well,
no
nobody's going to
frills.
pick up anyway.
Well,
No
you
one's
wouldn't
gonna pick up
expect
the
anyone to
phone.
answer. Yeah.
But then that's what I wonder about. It's like,
You know what it is typically, Ange, is that it's easy to park. It's easy to
yeah, it's
shop.
easy to park.
The
Yeah,
departments are bigger. So
parking
when
is
you
a big
start
deal.
doing all the little things and like, you know what, especially right now, if because your province, the one you're in, is much different than like ours has got its issues. Like we always have issues out here, but we have our issues. But
Yeah,
Ontario is in
You're right.
flux.
We don't have any
There's
issues, Ontario.
no, we've got just Ontario issues.
None.
But you
I
guys
just
are
tried
in
to
a bit
kill
of pickles.
Angela
I
while
think
she's
the mood
drinking.
of consumers is probably different. I think business is different. Like it's just different right now. And I think people are honestly, quite frankly, I think people are just scared shitless in a
yeah, I
lot of
do
ways.
too.
So it's
Yeah,
hard to, you
but
know,
then also we can be a refuge in the storm when people are afraid. But
but
then
that's
the
the thing I
people who
don't
do shop
understand.
here are happy to be here. And the people who live in this neighborhood are happy that we exist to
Yeah,
keep their
yeah,
house value high.
So you know
Like
what
I
yeah,
you
was
try to
saying
do
the other
though?
night,
Then
like,
you just keep doubling down on the neighborhood. And what you do is, maybe you don't, if you do flyers or don't, maybe the flyers are literally you drop them off yourself at the mailbox and get a couple kids or young people to run the street to
yeah,
tell the neighborhood, listen, we know you're going to go to Walmart or Superstore, well, superstores out here, Loblaws periodically, but just remember, like, if you don't support us when we're in the hood,
yeah.
you can't piss and moan
A
when we're
hard
out of the hood.
message. It's a hard message to
yeah.
It
give because
always
when we
is.
were almost folding, we were really battling with that. We were really discussing what message, how do we get that message to people? The whole sort of buy local or buy local. It's
Yeah.
like, yes, a lot of people you talk to do understand that message, but I don't know, like my kids go to school in this neighborhood, and so, when the kids were younger, I would walk them to school, and school is like same distance. It's closer to our house than the shop. And so many of those parents don't shop at our store.
No.
And I'm like, wonder where they're shopping. Like I wouldn't really bring it up because obviously you don't want to make people feel shitty. They know that we have this store.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, do they just I guess they just go to Loblaws. I mean, there's Loblaws right around the corner. I guess they just go to
And the
Costco, but
perception is what? It's cheaper. Even
and the
though
perception is cheaper. And
if you
also and
shop,
variety. People want to make
if
less
you shop
stock.
mom and pops though, if you shop mom and pops regular, dairy, you're always going to lose.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yep.
Produce, you rarely lose.
Mm-hmm.
Produce and mom and pops and I don't give a shit who says different, is better in independence than it
Yeah.
is in the large majors, period.
Yeah.
You can
So
always get a better deal.
Because they can't make any
Always.
money off
yeah,
it because they can't actually employ people who care about it. So it looks
That's
shitty,
just it
and no
though.
one
yeah.
wants to buy it. So they have
But
to,
that's the thing.
they just
Yeah, you
accept that
get
it's going to be
screwed in
crappy.
parts. Dairy's tough. Some CPG in the center store because you're buying through distributor, they're buying direct, whatever. But typically, the mom and pop independents of the neighborhood can compete if you give them a chance to compete.
Yeah.
Like I have one up the street. I'm in there 4 days a week. I
Yeah.
shit you not.
Which
Because
one?
it's not the cleanest store on the planet.
No,
They
ours.
don't
Yeah.
have everything I
Which
need.
one do you go to?
It's called Banana Grove. They're on the corner of
Yeah.
22nd and Slocan.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
it's literally in the hood.
Yeah.
They've been there for years. And why do we go? Or why do I go? Because it's always a hello. I
Yeah.
can find everything. It's not the
Yeah.
cleanest and most
Yeah. It's
organized,
not
but everything's
overwhelming.
signed.
Also, the number of
I can
SKUs is
find
not
somebody.
overwhelming. Yeah.
Somebody help me.
But
Yeah.
I think so. A couple of things that may be driving some of this. So one is Toronto in particular is at the center. I feel like we're at the center of a going back to office, right? And
Yeah.
then your neighborhood in Leslieville will have a ton of, kind of people going to those office buildings, either all
Yeah.
the way downtown in the financial district. So I think it probably screws up your traffic for the next couple of months, because like right now we were at 3 days a week. I think a lot of the offices have moved to four, right?
Yeah.
And then in the new
Yeah.
year they moved to five. So
Yeah.
I think it
there'll
might be better for
be
these guys, though.
Yeah, I think it will be in the end, but I think
Me too.
in the midterm it'll hurt, right? Because right now, there's a whole lot of like, oh my God, like how do I do this? Like I gotta I gotta get dressed. I
Yeah,
gotta figure out how
the
to drop
best.
kids
Yeah.
off. Like so I
Mm-hmm.
think in the short term it might hurt a little bit, and then
Mm-hmm.
but then reinforcing that, listen, if you need to pick up other things, like you really do, you like you're gonna get the best veggies you can get here, right? And then if you don't have time, like these are the veggies that are gonna keep, right? Not the ones that you buy at the big box store.
Yeah.
Those they're gonna go in a couple of days. You don't use them right away, you're kind of screwed, right? So I think somewhere in there, there's a message around like
I think it's probably
you got to
if we
come
go back
back,
to that,
right?
that might be the biggest problem that's happened to a lot of small businesses in general. In the downtown core, Vancouver's no different. I mean,
Mhm.
I feel bad for a lot of businesses. When they empty those buildings, they killed the businesses.
Oh yeah,
Once they go
I felt
back
bad.
though,
There were a lot of small businesses in those
tons.
tunnels in Toronto too.
Tons. But in Toronto, you think about it, you're living in Leslieville, which is still down in town. But if you
Yeah,
have to go downtown, you want to get the hell out of town.
yeah, for sure, for
You're
sure.
not going to do a half-hour shop at the end of the day. You want to get the hell out. So I think it does come back to the neighborhood then.
Yeah,
And you know what? It might change maybe even a little quicker than what Phil's thinking. Like I think it might change pretty quick because I don't want to be downtown already. I
yeah,
sure the hell ain't gonna make my shopping downtown.
yeah.
I'm coming back to this
Busy from
block.
4 to 7.
Yeah, and I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna go make dinner and I'm gonna
Yeah,
go out at 6:37 and maybe do a quick shop. Or I can
yeah,
do it on the weekend again, like go back to old school, like when we all shopped.
yeah,
Like Saturday was
yeah.
the day because that's the day you
Yeah.
shopped.
Well,
And
we're
you
on
whatever.
Queen Street, so we get, we're right by a streetcar stop. So, we get tons of people who are exiting the
Yeah.
transit or
Yeah.
even riding their bike,
Yeah.
even in the winter. And we also there's a lot of stay-at-home moms and stay-at-home
Totally.
parents, but mostly
Hmm.
moms in Leslieville. So we get that, and we get a lot of people who are working at home. Like, yeah, a lot of them will go back to the office, but um I think to me what it is I mean, it's kind of like late stage capitalism. Like, I think in some ways, we just want everything to be super easy because people are exhausted. They're
They're
kind of just
tired.
worn out from life. They're still worn out from the pandemic.
Yeah.
They're not really getting ahead. A lot of people are not getting ahead. They're just
Yeah.
kind of stagnating.
Yeah.
There's a lot of doom and gloom, a lot of messages of doom and gloom in the world, and so I think people are discouraged. And I think that even though that those emotional kind of reactions can be helped by coming to a small community shop like ours, I think people are just kind of nose to the ground. I've got
Yeah.
to get this done. I've got to get the shopping done. How can I do that the most efficiently and spend the least amount of
Right.
money? I can go to Costco. Because,
I think that's what it
people
is
also
too.
see it as like it's a Parisian kind of life of leisure that you can walk to your market,
Yeah.
on Queen and get a baguette and a head of broccoli and then walk home and
Yeah.
eat that for dinner. Like, our kind of store does support that lifestyle to some degree more than, the people who are driving the minivan and they have 4 kids or whatever. Like, it is, I mean, there should be enough of those people in Lesville to support our business.
You would
And
think in
sometimes
your area,
pardon me.
you would think in your
Oh,
area there
Yeah.
should be
And
because you
and
sometimes I
get
think we should
she's
just
got
raise our
this
price.
lovely butcher shop like two or three doors down from you on the other
Yeah.
side of the Belly Buster.
but
That's
it
like,
also tells you guys that the sense of
yeah.
community is different. In the old days, go back, is people knew people on the street. So you
Yeah.
could walk because you would say hi to the barber and probably to the
Yeah.
banker
Yeah.
and you
And
knew
people
people.
want that. They do want that to
Yeah.
I
some
think
degree.
deep down they do, but I think we've sort of lost that ability to do that. We don't talk to people on buses. You don't talk to people
Yeah.
on the streets.
Exactly.
Barely a good morning. And if
Yeah.
you do get a good morning, it's almost like, what? What do you want? You
Yeah.
think,
So a
no,
lot of
it's
this
a
doesn't
smile.
have to.
Hi, how are you? Good morning.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like, but a lot of that stuff doesn't have to do with how we market our shop. Like, I mean, these are
No, but
just.
it can impact how the people shop in the community because you are part of the community. But when we lose that sense of community, we lose the sense of community. And
Yeah.
parts of the community kind of go with it. And they forget local kids are employed in the shop. Your
Yeah.
mom, your dad probably worked in the shop.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
grandparents did the shop. You know what I mean? It's all that. And they, sometimes I think people forget. Maybe at the end of the train ride that's outside your door, it's reminding, hey guys, just so you know, every night from 5 to 7, here's a coupon because you live in the neighborhood. We're ready for you. We'll have an
Yeah.
extra person on
Yeah.
till. There's a couple extra deals. You know why? because
Yeah.
we get it. You're back in the town. You want to get out. You want to come home. We're part of your home, man. We're your neighbor. Like, let's
Yeah.
go. What do you need?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think like we know so many of our customers by name
I
and
bet.
you know,
And the kids and the dogs and the
and the
cats.
kids and the dogs and the cats. Yeah. Yeah.
Label
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of it's a weird time, you know, like I think I know that we're not alone. But I also do know that there are some businesses that have really succeeded. And sometimes I do wonder, like, well, what is that? You know, there's lots of different things that you can do to market your business. And some of those ideas are amazing and some of them are not. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think in some ways it's a cultural change that we're fighting against. And that cultural change is against small business. It's you know, like people and the irony is that people don't want that. They actually don't want that, but they
No.
act opposite. You know
And
what I
again,
mean?
I think we're trying to all figure out is what's the motivation of acting against it. And I
Yeah.
think in large part is because the perception is going to be, I can't get everything.
Yeah, I can't
It's
get
going to
everything.
be more expensive.
Yeah, more expensive, more time, and it's going to
And
be
it's
hard.
not.
It's going to be more
But
difficult.
then that's incumbent on us in the small businesses world to say, no, no.
Yeah.
I know
Well,
we
I
don't
try
get the
to counter
media
that
and I
stuff
know
all
we
the
don't get
time.
the support.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're working on countering that stuff all the time, and I do think some people do realize it. Like even the finding out that we have what they need just by phoning. You know, like if I'm going to go to another grocery store, I don't know whether they're going to have what I want, and I'm definitely not going to phone them to ask. So I have to go there and see if they do.
Yeah. And at that point, you're committed, right? So now,
You make do if they don't have it or whatever.
yeah, I mean, because you don't
Yeah.
carry, because you're just thinking, I don't want to do this, man.
Mhm.
I'm already tired, haven't done anything, and I'm already exhausted
No.
of this whole process. Again, I think that's when you do have to double down as yourself in the stores, and you have to remind people you're part of the community. You have this, it's the hellos and the goodbyes, it's the thank yous, it's
Mhm.
the deals here and there,
Yeah.
clean store, smiley faces, like just
Yeah.
old school basics.
Yeah, I know.
Do you-
And I mean, the thing is, we do manage to keep some of these young people
Yeah.
working for us, and
That's
so
awesome.
it's not just JJ and I, because we're sometimes just like you know chained down here in the basement. But you know, the staff, one of the guys who's up there now has been here for 5 years. You know, so he's
That's
like,
cool though.
you know, everyone knows his name, and so like we're bringing it. Like I am very. I mean, I'm happy, proud, but also discouraged because I do think that JJ and I mean, obviously there's always things you can improve, but I do think that we're running this shop the best you can. Like JJ is an operational genius and you know, she has everything just so smooth, you know, like just
Perfect.
getting stuff done, like how do we manage our expiry dates? How do we, you know, just those little things that,
Yeah.
you know, can really catch you up in retail. And, you know, I've got a lot of, you know, I do all the bookkeeping and I've got all the social media happening and you know, we're kind people and we have good relationships with our staff and our customers. And, you know, so in a lot of ways, I think that's the struggle for me is because I'm like, you know, we're ticking most boxes. We really
Yeah.
are. And not only that, but the customers who shop here know that we are ticking most boxes.
Mhm.
And so it's just that we need a larger portion of their money
Yeah.
and or we need a larger portion of like I would say that there's some people who come here more as a convenience store, like, oh, I just need an onion at the end of the night. And so sometimes I think, well, we should be charging what a convenience store would charge because if you
Right.
want us here on the
Which you
corner of
can't.
Queen and Jones to buy your
Yeah.
onion, you know, it's
Yeah.
going to take us a lot more than that to support us. So
Yeah.
you're going to have to pay us a lot of money for that onion. But at the same time, we do have people who shop their entire definitely produce shop at our store.
Right.
So, you know, you don't want to gouge because we're not a convenience store. Like we
No.
are actually like a very, very,
You're a
very,
grocer.
very mini grocery store. Yeah,
You're a
we're a
grocer.
grocer. So we, you know, we don't have meat, but we have every like I don't really go to any other grocery store to feed my family of four and I have two teenagers, you know, like
Yeah.
so like I don't know. I think that it does, like I said, it makes me happy that we can run our business the way that we run it. But it also, I do find it a bit discouraging because we really take very little money to support ourselves.
Right.
I mean, luckily we have access to this amazing food and for that I'm grateful. But
Right.
cash money, it's hard to take a decent amount of cash money out of the store.
Do you find, you know, with everything going on and how doom and gloom everything is right now, are you just like, could part of this answer just be that consumers are just not buying as much?
Yeah. That's the other thing, like JJ and I often do think, and we did go through this at Front Organics, is,
Yeah.
in 2008, when people are nervous of a recession, they will scale back from organic food. Like a lot of people are so hardcore on the organic, but a lot of people do see organic as a
Yep.
luxury. You
Yeah.
can buy cheaper produce.
Yep.
And a lot of people, I wouldn't be surprised in this weird time of uncertainty. Like I think that our neighbor to the south has made everybody feel very jittery, very
Yep.
insecure, very
The whole
nervous.
planet.
But even though our business isn't really affected by the tariffs, like
It
it
doesn't have to be though.
doesn't, it
It's the
doesn't.
general fear
Yeah,
or uncertainty. It's
yeah,
not me today. Is it going to be me in an hour or tomorrow? And
yeah,
that is the level of uncertainty. And I don't think our friends of the South appreciate how much chaos they are causing on this
yeah.
planet.
I
It's
don't
going
think
to
so
cost
either.
them.
No, it is because we're selling less this fall than we sold last fall, and our sales have kind of gone like this, and then the pandemic, and then after the pandemic,
Right.
and then since then they've been kind of going like this, but then this fall, we're seeing this weird downturn that is a little bit well, it's quite nerve-wracking, because
Yeah.
there's no reason, like organic sales are usually on the upswing in
Yeah.
general,
Yeah.
and as we become more and more established and are still doing the same thing that we've been doing, our clientele does grow. And
Right.
so the fact that our sales are down, whatever, they're down 10% over last fall, yeah, I just find that to be a little bit like, I don't know, that's a mood thing. That's a global economy thing. That's a
You would think that's probably where there's something I think greater that, yeah, it just might
yeah,
be more
yeah.
challenging.
So
Can I ask you something? So just out of curiosity then, because
mm,
so you are strictly a vegan vegetarian shop?
no,
Like
no,
there's
we're
no
not.
animal protein?
There, well, we carry fish,
Okay. And
some
it's
sort
just
of
a question. I'm
fish.
not judging.
Yeah.
I'm asking.
No, I mean, I'm not a vegetarian, and I sometimes I do wish we would carry meat. Partly we don't carry meat because of the butcher on the corner. We don't want to mess with him. He's got his thing going, and he is only two doors down. But meat is also a whole nother kettle of fish in terms of how you store it and sell it and yada yada yada.
There's complication on complication, but
Yeah,
it's back to the basket issue of how many stops do I need to make? So I'm
yeah.
not saying you
So
need to
we
carry
could
meat.
get
That's
more.
not what I'm
We
saying.
could get
But
more
if you got
shots
a
in that
butcher two
basket.
doors
Yeah,
down, could the butcher almost be like my meat department?
yeah,
And
yeah.
could
I
I
mean,
be the
that's what we hoped. There's a corner in Leslieville, and it's Queen and Logan, and it's a little bit further east, sorry, further west than we are. It's closer to
yeah,
downtown. And there's a fishmonger at that corner. There's a bakery, there's a cheese store, and there's Row Farms. Now Row Farms is a butcher slash, they had some produce. So at that corner, you're meeting a lot of needs. Now they don't have as good produce. There's nothing good there for produce like there is at our shop, because our
right,
produce is just
right.
bonkers. It's so good. Um, but a lot of meat needs are being met there. So sometimes I wish, if we did have that. I mean, that is how those communities survived oldie timey times. Is that people could walk. One door would be the butcher, one door would be the baker. I mean, it does sound like a kind of a cliche, but it is actually true. That's how retail strips were laid out. So the butcher, yeah, he could have a little more. He could be a little more. I don't want to say this because I have a lot of respect for the work he's doing there, but it's not exactly as good a meat department as we would really benefit from.
Right.
And so it's a fine line. Like I just got the Beretta, the price list. That's a butcher. It's been a super OG from Ontario, and I just got their price list because people are always trying to sell us stuff. And I would love to carry some of their stuff, but and then maybe we will. Who knows? But then we have
It's
to
a
find a
tough
spot
one, right?
for it.
Because again, if you're one-stop shopping,
Yeah,
again, like, and I don't, Leslieville is different than Toronto, but if
yeah,
you look at like here, you can do like in Vancouver, like you can do. I mean, well, they've done it. You can have more vegan, vegetarian type
yeah,
shops, no
yeah.
animal proteins, and actually make a go of it. It's still not as
It's true.
easy as
Yep.
if you had a broader basket
Yeah.
because you can't cater to one pot. It doesn't work, unfortunately, in grocery.
Yeah.
It's tough. You kind of
Yeah.
gotta You kind of got to not make me have to go somewhere else if you
I
can,
know, I
as
know.
best you can.
Yeah, and I mean, we do have a lot of vegetarians, and so then you're also, because we're selling organic food, you are catering to a health conscious
Right.
clientele to some degree. So then there is a certain part of the population who will just be annoyed that you are selling meat. Like when we had
I
Front
know.
Organics and we started selling meat, a few customers just went ballistic
Yeah.
because they thought we'd sold us
Really?
down the river and blah 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 blah.
Huh.
But that's not the reason we don't carry meat. Like it's kind of like a couple years ago we got our convenience store alcohol license, and we don't sell alcohol. And that's something we've also grappled with. We could bring the alcohol on, but part of the
It's probably not the worst idea. It's an
no,
upsell.
it's not the worst idea. But there is also cash and carry across the street, a brewery, local brewery, and he has beer and wine and cider and yada yada yada. So you do try to balance your neighborhood, but it's also a logistics issue. Like the thing is, JJ and I are two people, and we are working a lot. I have another paid job 1 day a week because we
Because
can't
you
take
work
as
in
much.
Yeah,
grocery.
yeah,
We need the
yeah,
cash, right? I'm a
yeah,
bookkeeper for somebody else on Wednesdays, and
yeah.
Yeah.
so JJ's doing what she can, but like I said, we got the kids, we got the house, we got to fix the light fixture, and you got to fix the fan, and you got to do that, and so even bringing on alcohol, well, everybody here's got to take the serve, the smart serve, and then we got to figure out, are we going to have to lock it up here? Where are we going to display it?
Yeah.
What's going to be, and the
What do
stuff
you
you have to go
move?
through to
What do
buy
you
it.
give up, right? Because it's physical
Yeah,
space. Nick.
Well, something's
Now
got to
you got to think
go.
about,
Yeah.
got to
And
give,
it's a whole
right?
different world now. Theft becomes different. It's already
And that's
bad
the
enough.
other
If
thing
the general
is that
theft is bad enough anywhere.
yeah,
Add
like we
alcohol
often
to
have
it.
teenagers in the store in the evening. And that was the other thing we were thinking about. We don't necessarily want to open ourselves up to the possibility of theft. So, you think about meat, you think about alcohol, you think about these different things. Um, and I think they're all great ideas. Like, of course, yes, but then implementing them is also just a matter of the balancing act.
Yeah.
Like I would like to think in an ideal world, I would like to think that we are doing such a great job doing what we're doing that we could survive. We don't have any dreams to own a Maserati. We're just talking, basics here. But I mean, in an ideal world, this kind of shop would be sustainable. But
Yeah.
that is my worry, especially since we're so invested in the sustainability of agriculture by selling organic food. Where's the sustainability of small business that can go with that? Do you know what I mean? It's
I
not,
don't know.
I don't know either. Like I know that all the small shopkeepers along our strip in Leslieville are just grinding. They're grinding.
They're doing that all over the country though, and it's
Yeah.
tough. And again, like we say it quite a bit, or I definitely say it a lot. The problem with small business in general is we have no voice.
Yeah.
It's just like herding cats
Mm-hmm.
because you need size and mass to get
Mm-hmm.
into media or to get government to listen. Loblaws has size, mass,
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Sobeys does.
Yeah.
Costco does.
Mm-hmm.
Pick an industry. TELUS does. Rogers. Like you go through, it's hard for small business because the problem for government is it's
you're,
important, but it
yeah.
doesn't get you the votes. It
Yeah.
doesn't move the
And
needle.
you're
Yeah.
faceless and nameless for the most
Right.
part,
And it's
right? Because
hard.
Yeah.
So like
you're not
even
going
I
to
feel
settle
bad for
on a
government
spokesperson.
too, because
Yeah.
a lot of them would double down, but they're thinking, I can double down all day. It's not going to do anything
Mm-hmm.
because nobody's going to know because nobody talks about small business because first off, everybody who owns a business has to be rich, clearly, right? I mean, that's
Okay.
like
Well,
that's a
thank you. Like,
given, right? You guys are all
yeah.
making way too much money. When you're thinking, like, what
Mm-hmm.
fucking planet are you from?
Mm-hmm.
You can make
Mm-hmm.
more doing a million other things.
So many other things.
Right,
So many other
seriously,
things.
it's a
Yeah.
grind, and a lot of times you do it because you love the community you're in. You
Mm-hmm.
do want to give the neighborhood the best that you can. I mean, that's why a lot of
Mm-hmm.
small businesses exist. They really actually just love what they do.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, you just
Yeah.
wonder sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I got to work this morning and the produce display cooler stopped working, like just
Why not?
turned off,
Sure.
and then JJ's at home with our son who's sick. He doesn't want to go to school, and it's like, yeah, it's just kind of juggling all that. And I mean, this is how it is for everybody, not just for us. But I do think, selling the fresh food is, it's kind of, it's what people want the most. Like when they think about food, they think fresh
Mm-hmm.
food is so attractive, and it's
Mhm.
so, but it's also just the absolute hardest to manage. And
It
a
is.
lot of small produce markets, like grocers, small grocers, are run by families where a lot of people in that family are working. A lot of people in that family are working for no money.
Yep.
a lot of people in that family are working long, long, long hours.
Yep.
And, I mean, we found out that legally we can get our children to work here for free,
Yep.
but they won't. So, like,
You
I don't know.
just gotta go Asian road on that one.
You got to go Italian
No
route then
options.
too. Like, trust me, 5 years
No.
old, you can hold a box cutter. In the store we go, baby.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like our 15-year-old who does work here, our 12-year-old takes out the garbage every weekend. He does the garbage and recycling, but under great duress, even though we pay him $15 a pop. And our 15-year-old, he's good. He works the till. He works a couple days a week. He's solid.
It's part of it though, Angela.
Yeah.
It's what it is. I don't know any family-owned grocer specifically that the kids did not start working literally
Oh,
5,
yeah, of
6,
course.
7 years old. And
Well, that's why I'm still doing the same job I
that's
was
what
doing when I
that's
was
what it was
14.
because yeah. And the ones that are successful now are probably like you said before, they either own the building because it's
Yeah,
been handed down.
exactly.
So it's a whole
Yeah,
different world. If you
yeah.
still have rents and
I know.
I don't know,
We
rents are
tried
like
we tried to buy this building. Our landlords we had negotiated first right of refusal because when we moved in here, they said they were going to be leaving the city in the next 5 or 10 years, and they did
yeah.
leave about 3 years ago. And we really tried to get that cash together. We really did try, but I couldn't. I just couldn't find it. I couldn't find it through the bank. I couldn't find it through friends. I couldn't. Neither one of our families have it, so I had to let that go. And it was disappointing
It's
because
tough, right?
I felt like that would be a kind of security that we don't otherwise have. I
Yeah.
really did. I mean, at the same time, I don't want to complain. We were able to, with some friends' help, we bought our house in Leslieville 20 years ago, and then when we sold our first business, we did manage to put a couple $100,000 down on the mortgage. So, that was good, and I feel lucky for that. I know not all small business owners do have that, but at the same time, it's still it still would have been nice to buy this building, and just have that security of never having to move, of never having to negotiate, with when the lease is up, how much do they want to raise it? We'll see.
You know what? But it also adds its own complications because, you can own the building, but
Yeah,
you still had to pay for it. There's probably still a mortgage rent.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think it's like everything. I think really and truly sometimes with small business, it's hard because you're in the weeds. It's hard sometimes to see past it.
yeah,
It's trying to find, it's a little creative thing here and there.
yeah.
What about pet?
Pets?
Pet.
We don't have
Because
any.
it's a growing category. You're in the right area for that. You've
We're
got
right next to a
some,
vet, but
yeah, but
we have Timmy's doggy outfitters like 4 doors
yeah.
down,
Oh,
and
that's
they
right.
sell amazing pet
Yeah,
food and
yeah.
amazing pet toys, and they've also been around at least as long as us. I think they might even be a
They're
couple years
actually a
older.
wonderful shop. Like that's a
They are.
beautiful store.
It
It's a
is.
really beautiful
They're
store.
But I think
they're
it goes
OG.
it
Yeah.
goes back to
Well,
that corner.
I just think like, because they're there, but because you've got in that neighborhood, you've got like the Tom and Sawyer folks who don't have their building anymore, right? Because they were on the other side, but
Yeah.
they sell at retail. They would, I don't know, they're not organic, but they would fit in your store. Like it's a basket build for you that would
Oh,
be, it'd
yeah.
be
Yeah.
like a healthy, better for you pet option.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
You
just
know what I
wonder
mean? Like, because
sometimes
there's
though.
margin there,
Yeah.
and then there's a basket build there that would
Yeah.
actually be,
Yeah. Basket
it
build,
would fit
meaning
with
it
us.
would bring up our
Yeah,
Yeah.
average sale. Yeah.
100%.
I
Like,
think it just goes back
I've
to a
done
pet
some
person
work
though,
with
Phil.
Tom and Sawyer, but I
Mhm.
also like I buy that product, and the pet store down the street from me, I'm there, because I buy three, four of these meals at a time, because I'm not made of money,
Tom
right? Like
Sawyer
so.
lost their retail spot, but they're still selling their product.
Correct. Yeah,
Mhm.
they're in big retail now, right? So they gave up their own
Oh, they are?
store. Yeah. So they're in well they're in like independent retail shops.
Oh,
Bone and
yeah.
Biscuit, all of those
Yeah.
sort of
Oh, okay.
folks, right? So
Yeah.
they do sell it. Like
Yeah.
it's something you could carry in your
Hmm.
store,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It would match. Like so for what you have in there, like whether it's those guys, there are a couple of folks that do like some pretty good pet product. None
Yeah.
I
of
think
the
you should probably
retail.
just try to push each other to your own place. And I'll tell you why I say that. Because I don't think you're wrong, Phil. I think it becomes, I don't know how big the store is, but to me, it's always with small business, it becomes more of a challenge of all of that. As
Yeah,
opposed to
you still
maybe
got to find space. Like I'm not,
Yeah.
you
it's
know,
always the same, right? But it's also
I can't hang it
selection
from
and
the
breadth.
ceiling or something. There's just
And it's
no.
breadth of product, right? Because you don't carry
Yeah,
toys, you
yeah,
don't carry this, you only carry
yeah,
this,
yeah.
and thinking, and then it's going to be, well, why don't you carry this? Why don't you carry that? Before you know it, you're thinking, listen, I'm not Loblaws, I got X space. But if you do have a BIA, and if you don't have a BIA, it's maybe
But we have an
collectively.
amazing BIA.
Then it's kind of, guys, listen, we need to double down. Like between these 6 or 7 or 8 locations, we satisfy the need of everybody within 30 miles from us, 30 clicks, period. They don't need to go elsewhere. Now, they choose to, they choose to. How do you get them to say, listen, go to the pet store, and the pet store says, oh, you got to buy groceries, go to this one. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of, you're never going to get the space to
Yes,
go to
but
the
no,
store.
but the like if you're listening to this, what you should take away from this as a consumer is the number one thing that these small businesses, I think, they need you to invest some time in these stores. So you go
Yeah, just
in,
walk them.
you got to walk it, and then you got to buy some things, and you're gonna. It's funny. Angela and I had this discussion with her friend the other night, but you can't win every deal. So you're gonna win a deal, you're gonna get something, but you're also gonna give up something, because the retailer needs to make money out of this, right?
Yeah.
So somewhere along the way, you can't get rock bottom prices for everything, right? But what you should get out of this is an amazing experience and some wonderful food, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
so somewhere in there, like if you're listening to this, this is what every business, this is what Raise the Root needs, right? You need to go to the store, you need to buy organic product, and then you
You think
you
you're
got
doing, you
you
think you're
gotta
winning
let
every time you
like
go
for
into
fuck's sakes, you
Loblaws?
gotta let Angela win at least
Yeah.
one deal, right? Like she's gonna give you
Exactly.
great produce, but they gotta win
That's right.
something out of this, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're not gonna make any money,
We
right?
might have to
So
pay a little bit more for the soy milk, okay?
yeah,
We can't get
yeah.
those
You know
case
what?
pack
You're going to
deals.
get one pocket. Well, then buy that elsewhere. It doesn't even matter. I put it this way: like, are you actually going to you win going to Loblaws all the time? Really?
Yeah.
No,
If
you
you buy
never.
produce at Loblaws and you don't buy from your local
I've,
grocer, I'm telling you right
I've,
now, you're 70% losing.
yeah.
100%. I'm
Yeah.
telling you
Yeah.
emphatically.
Yeah. But
So
yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is, sometimes I think we should just get rid of everything else we sell besides milk and produce because, a lot of people do come here just for the fresh produce. And
and
sometimes
maybe
I think
that's
we
what
should rip out
maybe
the
that is a
shelves.
thing, but I
Maybe.
don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know
then
either.
then you have the people, then you got the customer who's so upset that you don't sell the, roasted red peppers that you used to sell, right? So it's like if she's been
You
buying
can't
from us,
win.
no, you can't
I'm
win.
laughing because I'm that guy. Like, so at my local Longo's, all I do is torture them with like,
Nice.
why don't you carry this? Why don't you carry that? Right? And then the store manager said to me, it's you. Stop fucking asking all the employees if they get, because all I get is people ask for many people, and it's you. It's just
It's
one
not many
person asking
people.
like 8 people, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. It's because
whoopsie.
it's because the person who speaks carries a lot of weight. So you think, oh, one person asked for that roasted red pepper, we better carry it.
Yeah,
But
No.
it's collecting dust on the shelf because you're the only one
because
buying it.
I
Tell them
only got the
special
one
order
jar.
it.
That's all I wanted was the
Special
one
order it. If you want it, I can get it for you. You can
jar.
prepay for it. I'll
Yeah,
get you 20 of them if you
yeah.
want.
No,
But I can't carry the
we
shit in
got
the
that
store anymore.
special order shit sewn up. We got that sewn up.
Yeah.
We're doing it all the time for people. So,
So there's ways around it. You know what I mean? Again, it's yeah. I mean, I
Mm.
think I think it's a tough one because I think the perception that people have is that convenience. It's not even a perception. The convenience card trumps everything.
yeah,
So because you are not getting a better deal across the board shopping Loblaws. Love
yeah,
Loblaws. I shop Loblaws too. Yay team, whatever. But if I want if I want close dated produce, I can go to Banana Grove just as easy as Loblaws, and I'll save more money up there.
yeah, yeah,
And at least keep it in the hood,
yeah,
literally the
yeah,
neighborhood.
yeah,
So you got to make those decisions as a consumer. If you
yeah.
want to shop Costco, Loblaws, Sobeys all day, keep doing what we're doing, and in 10 years it will be no issue.
It'll also be a
Seriously,
sad,
no
it'll be a
problem.
sad neighborhood because it'll be filled with Subways. And
The
I don't mean the
same shit
transit.
in every
I mean
location.
the sandwiches. And just crappy chain stores that no
Yeah,
one that have no
yeah,
character, who don't
yeah,
add anything to the neighborhood, that don't
No
keep the money
innovation,
in the
no cool
neighborhood,
products.
that don't
No,
so that's
not
the
supporting the
kind of
hockey team,
neighborhood.
the baseball team, the
Yeah,
school,
I know.
nothing.
Yeah. sometimes people come in, the teachers or, some of the parents will come in and be like, I want a gift card for, the auction. I'm like, I've never seen you shop in this store.
Yeah,
Not
but you
once.
come and ask me for that stuff. But why
Because
don't
you're
you go
not
ask
gonna,
Loblaws?
are you gonna go to Costco and ask them for a gift card?
Well, you should. You're there more than me.
Yeah, but they're not gonna go to Costco because they
No,
don't even know who to talk to. Whereas,
no,
I'm the owner. I'm here all the time. Like, that's the kind of thing that drives me crazy.
I get
It's
it.
like, of
Yeah.
course, we usually say yes because
What are you
it's
going to
the
say?
local
It's the
school. But
neighborhood.
yeah,
Like you still
but
want to support the school. You still want to
of course,
support the people. Your kids are
yeah,
there.
yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. This is the thing, and I do think there's a disconnect there, and I think that it's I think it's a social issue more than anything else. And
I think
so,
so too.
that's the battle you're fighting. You're fighting a cultural,
Yeah.
social shift. And so you can carry the meat and you can carry the alcohol and you can give them another special or hand them out a flyer. You can do all sorts of things. And we are constantly brainstorming on those things. One of the biggest things that impacted our progress along this journey was doing the price comparison with Loblaws, and we did that, and that really got people talking. But now we've been doing it for 2 years, and people are bored of looking at that. So you have to move on to the next thing, and so it's not for lack of ingenuity on our part, or I mean,
It
there
rarely
obviously
is, though.
it rarely is, but there's a
It's you
little bit of
try
a
and it just gets. Then you know what? Remessage. If we're comparing to Loblaws all the time, now we need to do Sobeys, and maybe
yeah,
it's
yeah.
every month we change the retailer. Maybe we need to
Mhm.
be way more in your face. Buy these apples 99 cents, or make it convenient and shop at Loblaws at $1.29. Like you fool with it. I mean, whatever. You got to. You know what it's like. It's war, right? You got to
Yeah,
get down and
in
you
the
got to get down and
trenches.
dirty.
In
Got to
the
get in the
trenches.
trenches.
That's it,
Trenches.
man.
Yeah.
We are out of time. Thank you
I
for
want to come
doing
see the
this with
store now.
us.
Next time we're in Toronto,
Yeah.
Phil.
He's going to be in town. Well, actually, I don't know if he'll be in town. You we've got to be in Ottawa in February.
I can come a day early. Just do one day in town.
Yeah. So maybe we'll come early and then you and I can drive up to Ottawa.
Sure. I don't know. Whatever you tell me.
We gotta do a tour. So you're on our list if you're okay with that. Um,
Give me some
yeah.
notice because I might be working my day job.
Okay.
My paid job. I like to call it. It's just
That's a real
Wednesday.
job.
My
Yeah.
One
paid
that
job.
actually pays me.
That's right. Okay, it's really nice talking to you guys. Thanks for your time.
Go back to
Yes.
work.
Thanks,
Okay,
Angela.
yeah, no. Back to the grind.
Congratulations on the award.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. It
Yeah,
was
good
really nice.
job.
Welcome.
Yeah, happy
All
about
right.
that. Okay, ciao guys.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
You
Tough.
know the message? Please shop local. Please go to your local grocers. Please go to your local pet shop. Like seriously, your local sandwich shop. The multinationals don't need your help. Shop local. You might
Yeah.
surprise the hell out of yourself. The prices in local grocers are typically better. Not when you hit milk, I get it, or meats, but within produce, like I'm telling you, I shit you not, they are more competitive. It's true.
I think it's sobering, right? Like she just won an award from Ontario Made for being a great local retailer. And you can hear it, right? They're struggling. Like
I feel for her
they've
because
got
it's
a
not
thriving
fun.
local business and they're struggling,
Right. And it makes no
and so
sense, right?
yeah, yeah.
It
So
does, it really
I think
doesn't.
if you're listening to this, like I would pick out a couple of retailers and go. Like now is a good time. If I add a little bit here is the local pet shop, the one down the street. She was saying to me, she said to me, business sucks. Like it is, she's been here all this time and she has a similar experience to what Angela is talking about, is she's seeing year over year sales down, right?
Oh, buddy,
Um,
that's everywhere. And
yeah,
it's not exclusive to your city. It's our city. It's Calgary. It's everywhere. When you think about when we do our little travels, like how refreshing is it when we go to, if I take you into the Kootenays, we go to
yeah,
Nelson.
yeah.
Kootenay Co-op is a one store wonder. Fucking dominates that town. People love it. Go into Trail Roslyn. Who are you going to shop at?
Where else?
Ferraris.
Where else are you going?
Like what? It's not even. We're in Creston now that we
Yeah,
know Brian. Like, why would you shop anywhere else? If you're in Kelowna, I don't even like where Peter's location is. I would shop
yeah,
Peter just because of
yeah,
Peter.
yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why? Like, what? And it's not to pick on the big guys or anybody, but like, what do you get out of them? You'll never see the same cashier twice or rarely. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to get, and maybe that's not important. If that's not important to people, then that's fine too, I guess. Maybe that's just you and I put a lot of
I
weight
think
onto that,
I
and
think what
maybe others don't.
I think what is important is the whole um because everybody does it. So from a shopping habit perspective, you pick different places to shop for different things, right?
Yeah,
And so this is one of those ones that you probably don't want to drop that habit if you can.
yeah.
So
I really wish
anyway,
I'm with you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a
Um,
tough one because it's not, it's
it
good, but
is.
it's hard.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Okay. Thanks for listening.
listen, everybody.